Hello and welcome to Another Podcast. I am
and I am
Wow, this is already going to be dumb. Okay.
We've already sort of peaked the microphone.
Oh wow.
So this is our first episode of a podcast that we've been talking about doing since literally the dawn of time. If you don't know, I'm Holly, and I think we're probably on my YouTube channel right now. I go by Colour Cat on the internet, and this is my longtime friend who I've known for like 15 years.
Too many years.
A lot of not quite 20, but more than 10.
We should be married by now, but I just won't propose. So
yeah.
And the friend is Amy. I realised we didn't actually say that.
This is just a person I hang out with sometimes.
I'm just here.
You don't need to know her name. So, Amy, what would you consider our greatest talent as friends?
Our greatest talent is by far consuming media. We are too good.
We're so good at it.
Consuming. We will sit down and accidentally binge watch 2 series of something.
It just happens.
Sometimes we rewatch them real close together.
What? Okay.
And I'm actually pointing out now about our current situation.
Okay. Look, okay, so we watched Higurashi back in
November.
We thought it was maybe October, September. And then I checked our history, and it was in November. And we started watching the new one yesterday. And I was like, I want to rewatch the entire show. So we're just rewatching Higurashi again.
It's annoying. It's more good than it should be. It shouldn't be as good as it is. But basically, we always thought we could start a show which was us badly reviewing multiple forms of media, usually anime, that we'd come across. But it's now, because RWBY has consumed our life for so many years, we thought we'd go with this one.
So we're doing a podcast that is weekly. We're going to bring in 2 topics of discussion. I will bring one to the table. Amy will bring another to the table. I guess technically you go first, because it's the you put the in Nother Podcast.
I mean, we can do.
But I have a feeling yours is going to take much longer.
Yeah, so week. I feel like maybe this week we should kick it off in true podcast style of doing things the wrong way round.
Yeah, and I will bring a topic to the table. And I think they're probably not going to be necessarily always from the same series.
Yeah.
But probably we can do themed episode of the same series.
Yeah.
So this week, since RWBY is on hiatus, and we kind of wanted to, start some positive discussion around RWBY because we love it dearly with all our hearts. Except maybe the middle part of season 4 where it gets kind of boring.
Yeah.
Which in hindsight was less bad.
It was less bad when you binge watch it.
When you watch it for the 7th time all at once.
So you've just got to kind of blast through that bit.
Yeah.
Is what we realised.
You just have to get through season 4 because the beginning and the end of season 4 are good.
Oh, yeah. Basically as long as you binge watch it. Is the best way.
You gotta power right through to the ending of season 5.
You gotta consume that.
Consume
Yeah, and
media.
also move over to season 5. Don't stop at the end of season 4. Keep going.
Just keep powering through to season 5.
I don't care if you're up for 17 hours straight watching it, or however long. You cannot take a break. You must consume that media in the correct form.
What are we drinking today, by the way?
Tea!
Yeah, it's just regular tea today. Okay, so...
The British in us. I'm
gonna kick us off with my topic that I've brought to the table today, and these are very intellectual discussions about RWBY as a show. And my topic is, why is the main villain of RWBY, Salem, hotter now?
Explain your feelings.
So we first met Salem at the end of season 3 in a very well rendered scene post credits, and she turns around and she's like, "And I can't wait to watch you burn." And you're like, "Damn,
oh yeah,
she is a lady." But I don't know what it is. But we're watching volume 8, and for some reason, Salem just is checking the boxes in a slightly different way.
I think the thing is that we've now got we've got more of Salem. We've got more of Salem doing stuff. So it's not like just seeing her like sit lounging around like the queen that she is.
Yeah.
We're seeing her actively be awful.
And is that what's doing it?
I feel like, well, because let's start with the past.
Okay, we're gonna start purely. We'll go through aesthetics and like what she's like in them.
Yeah.
And then we can like say we've got the pictures up here. You can join along. We're on the RWBY fandom website, ruby.wiki. /Salem, and there are some pictures and you can admire them with us. Okay, so we got the past Salem.
She's pretty, don't get me wrong.
Salem, if you will, back in revealed in volume 6, episode 3.
I'm glad you're remembering this.
Look,
after binge watching them, I can tell you it's in an episode.
You know how in like psychology you just retain information you find interesting? I find RWBY interesting, so I have a
I'd hope you do.
I absolutely remember what happened in what episode. But yeah, I think it's volume 3 because episode 2 is the one with Oscar going, he's lying. He's trying to stop you discovering what he's hiding. That's the episode. So the episode after that.
So good.
Oh, I know. But yeah, episode 3, we technically see her at the end of episode 2. Because then it has that bit where Jin is like, long ago there was a town and her name was Salem. And we're like, oh no.
But then she's blonde.
But so she's blonde and does not look white and veiny. Like most of the men we've dated.
Oh! Damn.
But she does not look white and veiny.
No.
She instead is blonde and a beautiful princess who's been trapped in a tower by her evil father.
Typical European princess thing of blonde hair, blue eyes, pale little... Well, she doesn't get to go outside, so that's probably why she's quite pale.
Yeah, she's pretty pale.
Didn't manage to get a tan on top of that tower.
She's a little delicate, and she...
But she doesn't have the attitude to boot.
I would argue that she does. Because after the love... This is major spoilers for RWBY, by the way, but after...
Yeah, we should have announced that really at the beginning. This whole thing is going to be major spoilers for the entire thing.
So, right, after she is freed from her father's clutches by the love of her life, Ozma, and then he...
Good stand-up guy.
A top lad, if
Some
you will.
Some may say too good.
Kind of a himbo, I would argue.
That's a different that's a different episode.
That's another episode. Is Ozma... I would argue Ozma is a himbo.
And Ozpin is a DILF.
Okay, we're going straight for DILF. Alright. Ozpin... Well, he has got smart over years and years of... Okay, we're getting off topic.
Okay, right.
After Ozma dies and she goes to speak to the god of light, and he's like, the balance of life it's important, and I can't do this because it would disrupt the harmony that I have created. It would disrupt
all harmony, and she's like, but I want my boy.
Yeah, but she's like, she wants her boy because she feels that she's lived a life like that is been... Well, she's been trapped in a castle by her mean dad all her life, and the second she got free, her boyfriend dies of a preventable illness, and she's like, I finally had freedom, and you took that away from me, so...
No, but the thing is, I disagree already with her base, because that's it. She's very selfish from the get-go, which I feel is quite, like, you would expect... Actually, no, I don't... She goes against the whole kind of princess in the tower vibe.
Because she's kind of like, I've lived a hard life.
Yeah.
And I deserve my happiness.
And it's like, I'm sorry, life is cruel, babe.
But then to have him tell her it's all about balance and, there's light and dark in all things. For her to then be like, so the part where she goes, you won't do it then? And he's like, no, I won't. And then she goes, that's not fair. And then she's like, yells, and she's like, that's not fair. You're like... That's not dinky little princess of you. And suddenly you're a bit like, oh.
What's your damage?
Yeah,
Surprisingly, being locked in a tower.
Yeah, so she's like, I have trauma, my man. But I think the subversion of her being a princess that was locked in a tower to then actually being like, I'm a princess who was locked in a tower and I'm mad at God is kind of hot.
Oh, yeah, don't get me wrong. She's already got the power of could seduce most people. Like, let alone, like, you've got the aesthetic, but then you've also got the... Actually, she's got, like, a power in her.
Yeah.
And she's quite assertive from the get-go.
Okay.
Which just seems to just grow and grow and grow to the current standard of, oof.
Okay, so if we put current Salem as... I'm writing this down. If you can hear pages turning, it's because I'm writing down. So we are going to put...
In a pink gel pen.
Yeah, in a pink... Look, okay, we commit. Salem, OG Salem would be base level hotness.
Yeah, because she's also what a lot of people would say conforms to current
Beauty standards. So if I put... I wouldn't say she's a 5. I'd say she's a 10. As a human woman, she would be a 10 out of 10. But in the Salem...
Okay, if we have then, we don't do out of 10, we do plus or minus.
Okay, no, but I'm gonna... Okay, so that would make her 0. We're going in Celsius.
Yes! Yes, we go in Celsius.
Hotness in...
Hotness!
Okay, so we have...
I'm so angry.
We have Salem, OG Salem at a base level of 0 degrees Celsius. I don't know how to convert this
not cold.
to Americans. Y'all should just get a better system of measuring. But yeah, she is a 0 degrees Celsius level hotness. Okay. So moving on to later in that episode, she is like, because she's granted, like, for those of you, if you're trying to keep up, she gets granted immortality. And then she's like...
To
piss her off because she's selfish and demands her boyfriend back. The gods are like, wow, until how to respect us and the balance of life and death, you can't die and be with your beloved boyfriend.
Which really doesn't help the main crew out. I feel like the gods were not thinking long term about that. I feel like they kind of underestimated how peeved off she was with them.
Yeah, but I feel like Salem as a woman who's been trapped in a tower by her father, who's a rude man, to then go and walk up to two male gods who are then like, your feelings are invalid, and also you need to learn to respect life and death, the balance that we have created and could undo at any moment, because I say so. I'd be kind of miffed.
Basically, it just shows how the patriarchy sucks.
Okay, one day we'll discuss, is RWBY a patriarchy? That's episode 5 of Another Podcast. Because
RWBY isn't, but the gods are.
Okay, it technically isn't. I mean, all of the headmasters are men.
No shit.
Yeah, as well. But all the main characters are female. This is okay. We're getting off topic. Now we're just Glenda. Observing feminism in RWBY.
That's a whole kettle of fish to open another day.
But I mean, I would argue that it is sometimes handled a bit wonky. But yes, but that's okay. Well, okay.
Back to Salem.
Being
hot,
and why Salem is hotter now.
And a queen.
Okay, so then later in that episode, she tries to kill herself by jumping into a pool of darkness.
Which is quite a metal thing to do.
Yeah,
we've all got to admit.
She got thrown into the pool of light to give her immortality, and she's like, I'm going to jump into the pool of darkness, and then maybe that'll kill me.
YOLO. But the yo lasts way too long.
It's yo!
It's like yo, but the O is like squared by a million.
Yeah, and it's doing that thing where some are capital letters and some are lowercase, and it's just uncomfortable.
That image, she looks like sassy. She looks fed up of your bull.
She's like, God, I wish I were dead. But no, after she jumps into the pool of darkness, she comes out and she is no longer classic white princess girl.
But instead, she's grey. But it's not like it's like still like a blondie grey. It's like a proper, like, it's like a blondie silver.
Okay, yeah, she comes out kind of silver with red eyes and her classic original first time you see her in the series outfit. Okay.
And which is also going then for the black and red theme.
Yeah.
Rather than her princess getup, which was more lighter colours.
Yes. And she also has the cutout. It's like the cutout style. It's like a collared dress with a cutout boob window.
Yeah.
To be like, she's a woman now.
Yeah, just in case you didn't know, titties out.
Yeah.
But not fully.
No.
Tasteful titties.
Tasteful titties. Okay, but I would argue that this form of cinder. Why did I want to say cinder?
That's not cinder.
Salem is less hotter than the first time we see her in the series, Salem.
Oh, see, I don't know. I would disagree. There's something about her with the I am fed up of your nonsense look. She looks... I think, aesthetic-wise, I think she's really pretty. But I think personality-wise, because she's still kind of happy... so I think that makes it less.
I think I would, okay, so
she doesn't have the "I'll kill you."
This is going to be a dumb reason to think that this Salem is less hot.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, so I can't stop thinking about
The
how
veins.
No, not the veins. How in that episode, the model of her head is so much bigger than Ozma's.
Oh my god! Yeah, no.
Because I obviously, like, RWBY's got like a small team working on it, and it's sort of like, I don't know who's making the models in Maya. She's probably got a base model, and Ozma's is a different base model. But when they meet each other, her model is just so, like, slightly different proportioned, and her head...
He turns up at the door.
He turns up,
and he's like, oh, and she's like, oh, and they're like, this is so big.
And they touch hands, and her head is just so much bigger than his head. And I know that shouldn't be reducing hotness for me, but first of all, I think it's already aesthetically quite...
It's not about the size.
She does use her head.
Hey!
But, for me, she doesn't have a lot of the details. Like, I don't think the hair works as well.
It looks quite plain.
Yeah, she's
I get what you
missing,
mean.
like, a lot of her, like, she doesn't have her, like, cool hairstyles that we'll move on to later.
She looks like basic bad bitch energy.
Yeah. I would say I would put her at A if you combined the plain outfit with the fact that she's not decided on being a cold bitch yet.
Yeah.
And also the fact that her head is too big. I would put her at a -3 degrees.
-3? Ooh.
Yeah, those are three minus degrees Celsius points.
I feel like maybe -2.
No,
Oh, but then she's not also, because then also it's like, oh, she's not cold enough.
No, but
that doesn't make any sense.
That doesn't make no. If evil in this scale is hot.
Oh shit! Yeah. Okay.
Then...
Fine. Okay. We'll go with your -3. I get your reasoning.
Okay, -3 degrees is second Salem. Okay, then we move into original Salem, who now has the different coloured hair beads. Interestingly, the different coloured hair beads, I think, are all in the colour of the RWBY characters. I think she's got one for each one.
She's actually a really big fan of theirs.
Yeah, Salem loves RWBY.
She's like, look, girls, I respect your drive. It's just unfortunate that you've sided with my husband.
Yeah, I don't.
I think they could be friends.
No.
If RWBY gives enough friendship speeches.
They completely oppose each other in morals. That doesn't mean I don't think by the end of it, RWBY's going to convince her to not destroy the world in order to die. But
I think it'll more get to the point where Salem is just too tired of all of this. She's like, I just don't care anymore.
I think this is a strong visual design. Like, we've got the good boob window, but now we've got cool red accents.
Yeah.
I think the cool hairstyle really does it for me in this one.
I like the black nail varnish.
The black nail varnish. I think the hair, because I think mostly she's picked, when you first see her, she's like quite a striking silhouette when she walks into a room.
Yeah.
And then you also have that thing where you have her from behind and you recognise the back of her head and then she turns around.
Yeah.
And it's like a spider queen.
It's very sort of Medusa vibe. Yeah. Because it's the uniformity? What's the word I'm looking for?
The asymmetry?
Yeah, we'll go with that. We'll go with that. The fact that it's not like the straight blonde princess hair.
Yeah.
Or even like the straight, I've just chucked myself into a pool of Grim hair and still come out looking this fabulous.
Yeah.
It's suddenly a I'm gonna show how I'm kind of unstable by having wild hair.
I like that it frames her face.
Yeah. I like the strong eyebrow game that she's got.
She's got mad eyebrow. I don't know what the gem in her forehead means, but I think it looks cool.
She's then got that kind of mermaid dress but cape as well.
Yeah, it's
and cape just makes everything.
Cape does make, and this is what she wears for her day in the office.
Yeah, it's a bold move to wake up every morning and think, you know what I'm gonna wear? This. You're going in strong for the day.
She's I choose violence and also to wear a mermaid fit dress.
Which is difficult to move in. So that's...
Wait, is it a mermaid or is it a pencil? It's a pencil dress.
It's a pencil
skirt, yeah. She chooses to wake up and wear a pencil skirt, and that's bold.
You would, especially because she's so sure of her powers that she knows that she doesn't have to physically fight like the other team do.
Yeah.
Because you wouldn't choose a pencil dress skirt thing if
Yeah.
you think that you're going to need to kick someone in that day. She is so self-assured of her abilities.
She shows up, does her hair, titties out, pencil
Looking
skirt,
fine.
ready to kill Team RWBY, and I respect that.
Yeah.
Okay, but I don't see, the thing is, I would be this is the classic, and I'm trying to think of any sub points I have for this, and I think it would either be because it's an older model. It's slightly it's not as fine-tuned as newer RWBY models. And also, I think the veins in this one are a little too spindly.
Yeah.
They're a bit more haphazard.
And, because does she, I can't remember if she's got the ones on her face.
Yeah, she does.
Does she?
She doesn't in the original, the first time she falls in, but this is her...
Oh, yeah, I feel like this one really shows her rage more.
Yeah, okay, angry Sailor.
Yeah, so it seems like they've sort of flared up more.
Over the years,
Yeah.
she woke up one day and was like,
Angry girl.
Angie. Blood-filled rage fills veins.
I'm mad at my husband.
Okay, so if the other one was a -3, if I put this one at a +3?
I might even go as far as +4 or 5.
Okay. Okay, this one is I will put this at a 4.5 degrees.
Yes. 4.5 degrees. That's a good amount of degrees. Actually, it's really not. That would be so cold still. We'd be freezing. She would be freezing. I don't know if she can feel temperature.
I don't know, actually. I think if she does, she won't die.
That's true.
But if you encased her in ice, she wouldn't probably... Actually, she can use magic. She could get out of the ice.
Yeah.
Okay, then we have...
the wild card.
The wild card, which is Volume 7. I just appeared out of an evil octopus grim, and I am here to give you a message of war.
Oh, and that thing freaks me. Oh, and when she goes real big.
She's really big. First of all, she's really big, and then she
kind of Titan size.
Yeah,
and it's terrifying.
She floats over to Ironwood, and she's like, "We're on first name basis. Your name is James."
Yeah, and he is cowering in the corner.
And then she does that thing where she's like, "Just hand it over, and this can all be over."
You're like, oof.
And you're like, and she's got these calm eyes. And she's kind of ethereal.
She's at the point where she's like, there's no way of you defeating me, so you might as well just give in.
Which I think is refreshing from original appearance Salem, who is just a lot of, we've seen her angry, and she breaks a lot of windows. And don't get me wrong, she's still cool, but she's not got the calm resolution of floating heads and of Salem.
Yeah, it shows more her composure.
Yeah, I would say the other Salem is queen shit, but sometimes we see her break character because Team RWBY are like, let's go.
Yeah. This one where she's like, I am the queen, and you're just going to have to accept me sooner or later, and you're like, ooh. Ooh.
I think all of this is helped by Jen Taylor's great voice work, though.
That is true.
Because she is so good.
Yeah.
I would let her kill me with her voice.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that.
I would let her,
I would pay for that.
She's just very good at yeah.
It's like the sultry, but not.
It's not like, oh hey.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm going to kill you.
It's just so self-assured.
Yeah, she just knows what is up. But she's also ready to fight.
Yeah,
And
she will kill you.
Yeah. You know...
In a couple of series time.
But I also think this one has like a slightly... It's like an updated model. So it's got more... The details on her veins are a bit more refined.
The hair is... We've got more on like the top.
Yeah, it's less... The side bits are less uppy.
We've got more like volume on the top, but also more like substance in the side bits. They look like poofy.
And also, I like the glowing effect from where her, like, the orb in her chest is.
Yeah.
But we are right now arguing that Smoke Salem is hot.
I mean, but the thing is, I can't say no. The only issue is I don't think that we can rate her above that 4.5 because we don't have the added pencil dress thing.
She doesn't. But it is a striking look for her.
Maybe then it's actually on par. Or maybe a 4 rather than 4.5.
Okay.
But then does that mean that the pencil skirt dress is only actually worth 0.5?
No, because we haven't yet got to... She goes back into the pencil skirt, but like business pencil skirt. Okay, so if I put this as... If I write down a 4...
I think a 4. I think a strong 4.
A strong... Okay, I think if she had a body...
4+.
We can't... We're in a Celsius degrees rating. I don't think they do 4+ Celsius degrees. Like, if she had a body, this would be, like, a solid 8.
Yeah.
But she doesn't. She is a floating head that we are ranking right now.
Is a floating head.
Okay, so now we move into...
Final.
Does she appear at the end of Volume 7 on her whale? I think she does, but I don't think it's... So we're just going to go for...
I still forget that bloody whale.
Well, that's not her at all.
That's not her at all.
There we go. So then we hit Volume 8.
Oh, we hit shoulders out.
Shoulders out time. Volume 8. Salem is like, I'm going to fly in on my grim whale and take down Atlas.
Because you know what is like you think like a natural airborne sort of thing, a sperm whale, obviously.
In the sky, actually, though, to be fair, I'm just sitting on a chair creaking. Sorry. It's
not exactly an ergonomic model.
No, but sky whales are quite popular in fiction.
Really?
Like, there is quite a few different space sky whales, and also sky whales do also appear in the Legend of Zelda series. So I can kind of see where the inspiration for the sky whale came from.
I do not have this.
Okay.
I would go more with, I'm a king fan, so I would go more with the turtle rather than
that is true.
But I mean, it's not exactly known for its aerodynamics.
True, but it is big.
And magic, I guess.
Yeah, it does fly in.
It fits her ego. It's basically a blimp.
Also, if you think about it, sky whales are kind of in the Avengers, the first Avengers.
What?
Well, they're like not whales, but they're big, like floaty fish boys that fly out of space when Loki summons them.
This is just telling me that I really do not remember the first Avengers film.
Okay, but
I just remember Tom Hiddleston too much in that. That's
oh my goodness me.
I love him. He's a good boy.
Okay, so Volume 8, Salem flies in on her whale, and this is her business attire. If the other pencil skirt was her just on like a normal day at the office, she is like, I'm
having a lot of important meetings today.
I have a lot of important meetings today. I need to make sure that my makeup really stays put.
Woke up feeling fresh.
Yeah, she is like put the work in for this one.
She's wearing the bones of her enemies on her
She's got
arms.
Like grim shoulder blades, shoulder arms on her top of her. So okay, we break
upper
down
arm pads.
If we break down this dress, this is a
bigger titties out.
This is a bigger titties out,
but still tasteful.
Structured, high collared, cold shoulder dress
with a lovely brooch.
With sleeves that you then put over your fingers as a ring. Like, you know how... Look at them.
Oh, yeah. Like, kind of emo, old school emo armband style.
And it's got quite, like, the embellishments are quite, like, intense red detailing.
Oh, yeah, the accents, they make it...
Yeah.
They kind of... But the thing is, right, I'm looking at this now, and you know what I'm seeing? I'm seeing swimsuit.
Wait, hold. I'm gonna look up Volume 8 Salem and see if we get pictures from other angles.
Because currently, the way that those red markings are going, they make me think of in Free. You know when Haru has all the different swimsuits out and they've got different accents?
Right, so because swimsuits with accents were in, like, really big in, and they would have those neon accents, like, about 2 years ago.
Right? I was thinking, like, back when we were in school.
No, I mean, like, women's. They were, like, everywhere.
Yeah.
At that... Okay.
Oh,
I forgot about the OP one, where she's got wings and glowy red eyes.
And she's tormenting the baby boy,
Yeah, are we going to
Oscar.
discuss that one?
Okay, I think we come back to that one. I think we finish what we're doing currently, and then we come back to that one as a wild card. As a second wild card.
We'll come back to the second wild card.
Oh, that one's a good one. That, the one there. No, yeah.
God, she's hot.
She's just a beautiful lady.
Okay.
I would let her This is one where she is grabbing Oscar by the collar.
And she looks... No, her face.
Oh, by the face.
By the face, and she's really mad. Okay, so...
I feel so sorry for our baby boy.
I think we need to break down what it is about this that is hot. So
I don't know if it's the energy... But also the... I feel like she's got stronger facial expressions.
Okay, yeah, I think first of all, like everyone else, not the main gang, but I think at some point she got an updated model.
Yeah.
Which has given her face rig more of a wider range of expressions. So she can now look more than just angry. She can look really angry.
But she's got like the kind of... Oh, I'm being evil smirk.
And she's kind of smug.
She looks like she's having fun with it. I think it doesn't look like she's like out of control angry.
And she's like mad that Ozpin is still alive. All the people have disappointed her.
She's spiteful fun.
Yeah, I'm in control. And
I'm having a good
here
time.
to kill you. And I think she's like... The shoulders are more out. The titty window is bigger.
Yeah.
The hair is better modeled. She's got the ability to look smug more. I think her veins are covered up on her arms, but shown in places where it looks tasteful more in this look.
Yeah, I feel like it doesn't make her look kind of like... Because it can be seen as like kind of ill, or like she looks more human,
but also more like a villain queen. This is her queen look.
Yeah, this is very much like, you know, in whenever you've got like the idea of like the Ice Queen or stuff like that, this is very much the regal, in control, having fun with her evilness.
Yeah, you know, and that's what we really want to see.
I support her having a good time.
We want to see Salem having fun with her evilness. Also, in this one, they give her a prop to be nice to, and that is the hound.
I hate that dog so much. Oh my god. I hate it. Look at him, it's terrifying. It croons into her touch.
Yeah. Whoever this dog, this is another topic for a discussion, is... do we think the hound is a person? Because I think it is, and who it is. But
it's actually just Tyrion in a little dog suit.
Oh my god! It's like Joey Wheeler in Yu-Gi-Oh, but it's Tyrion in his version. But yeah, so he's in a little dog suit,
and it shows that she still is affectionate. And when she's patting Tyrion on the head,
on the head. She's got that bit where when Oz gets captured and they meet each other, and she is quite reasonable with him.
Because she's like, you are in the body of a tiny baby boy.
But she's also like summoning her kids as like those orbs dancing around in the beginning of that scene.
Oh yeah.
And so she's thinking about like that history. So she's pissed, but I think it's also the way she flips like a switch between being like, let's be reasonable. I know that you don't know all these secrets. And then she freaking shows out of nowhere and starts grabbing his face. And she's so mad.
And look, if you look really closely, she's got like the little crinkle on the bridge of her nose.
She's so angry.
Cranky girl.
And I don't know why looking at that, I'm like, damn. What does that say about us that we're like, oh?
I think it's because I just like the idea of a woman finally having control.
Oh. Maybe we're unpacking stuff today on Another Podcast.
Welcome to our deepest, darkest desires. I want Salem to love me.
But the thing is, I think there is an underrepresentation of powerful women villains in media, which I think is like the overarching theme of this, is why people, like, I like Maleficent as a film, like, it's a hot mess, but it's a fun watch.
I just love Angelina Jolie.
That too. But it does kind of make me sad that she's not a villain anymore.
Yeah, they had to change it so that actually there's still some good inside her.
Yeah, and I don't get me wrong, I think that's a good story, like, and as like an allegory for like assault and stuff. I think it's a very like important story.
Oh, the bit where she had her wings taken off.
That's
It's horrible.
harrowing. But that does mean yet again we have another like.
Oh, she's just misunderstood and just being a woman.
Sometimes I don't want to be. I'm just mad, and I am mad.
Yeah, it's nice to see a woman being able to be angry.
I understand why she's mad.
Ruby's not just going up to her like, oh, I'm sorry, maybe you should just try to be happy.
We should talk about, maybe you should smile more. And she does smile more, because now she can fight Ozpin and make him scream. Okay, but... because we have this problem. Okay, now I can't believe I'm coming back to Warrior Cats.
Oh my god.
Okay, look, this is just who I am, right?
Oh my god.
Okay, and Warrior Cats has
I can never
basically
escape.
one female villain. And she's not particularly well written. Her name is Maple Shade, and she is a villain because it turns out she fell in love with a guy from another clan and they had kittens together, and then she tries to take her kittens over to him because they're half clan kittens and they will be discriminated against by cat racism and stuff. And she gets there, and like a bunch of, I haven't actually read this book, this is just me watching a lot of videos about it. She on her way there or something, like a lot of her babies drown, and it's horrible.
God.
And she's haunted by the ghost of her kittens, and she gets there and she finds out that the guy she had these kittens with had a wife in his, like, and she was the other woman.
Oh damn.
And he had like a baby mama in that family, and he's like, I want nothing to do with you and our kids.
And she's like, so some of them have died.
And then
on the way
her kids
here.
haunt her because of the fact that they drowned in the river, and are like, you should get revenge, because she's going crazy. And so she like,
Kids
basically,
are like, just kill him.
She like starts killing him and people.
Hell yeah.
And then is like doomed to like constantly haunt the family of his other kids. Like, and they all of like their kids die of unfortunate circumstances and things like that, and it's like a curse that goes on for a really long time. And even though she's like kind of like a woman scorned, because she's like the only female villain that's like good in that show, everyone loves her because people are like so excited to see something that's like a little bit different and is like a strong female character that's just like, you know what, I'm gonna commit some murder.
It's the finally a woman having the power but also not losing her femininity.
Yeah, I like that she's feminine. She's ready to fight.
But I think that's what I love about all the RWBY girls, is the fact that they don't lose their femininity, or they're not just, like, Yang is more, like, slightly more masculine in the way that she dresses.
But
that
she also is, like, dresses like a very sexy lady.
Yeah.
And you're like... and that she kind of owns that. She's not like, I don't feel like any of the female characters in RWBY dress for the male gaze. Yeah. I feel like they dress because that's what they want to wear. Yeah. You know?
And I really support that.
And like, as a woman, sometimes I want to wear
a battle skirt,
or a very structured titty window dress with cold shoulders and a cape
and
as I ride a whale into battle. I think that is something that I really like about RWBY, is that they let female characters be angry
and female
in a way that you don't get to see, and it's not like I'm a woman but I'm not like other girls.
Yeah, it's not like my femininity over yours. It's not like I'm only doing this because I want the guy.
Yeah, and it's never like I'm angry in a way that makes me like one of the lads. It's not like I'm like a, you know how in like Western media, the accepted way to be feminist in a thing is to have like a badass lady. It's very individual empowerment, whereas like it's not like a systemic, like we need feminism. It actually needs like systemic like alterations to make it a better place for women. But modern, like current, the way feminism gets presented is, I'm a woman and I can have a career and I can fight like a man and I can throw like a man and I can do all these things. Whereas I've never...
It's always like a man.
And it's not, even if it's not, it's like they'll rebrand it and it's like, I can throw like a girl. But it's an individual kind of like, I can prove that I'm strong. And whereas RWBY lets Nora wear pink and hit stuff with a hammer.
God, I love Nora so
much. And wear a cute little skirt and have little hearts.
And the heart, and then also she's Thor.
Yeah, she's like Thor. And it also lets, like, Weiss be a very elegant woman. Oh. And she wears heels and stuff.
But she will kick your ass.
In the same way that it also lets, like,
it lets Yang still punch stuff, but still be like... oh damn lady, look at your beautiful hair.
But it also lets people be women and wear normal clothes. Like RWBY likes to wear clothes.
Yeah, RWBY in little pajamas, just
RWBY
being
in a little
cute.
pajama. Like, I think it offers quite
it lets them be individuals.
Yeah, and I think that's refreshing to see in a show. Because, like, as a girl, unless it's like Sailor Moon, and I love Sailor Moon, but that one is like almost exclusively like feminine women killing stuff with the power of love, which I am all for. Yeah. But it's nice to see in RWBY
women with beautiful goddamn weapons.
With great weapons. Oh. And they're all different kinds of women, and they're never like, this is the correct way to be a badass lady. Yeah. Like, they're never like Pyrrha is like great, and she gets to wear like she's Athenian like battle gear. In the same way that like Winter can be like, I'm wearing quite like serious
military trouser
suits, but I'm still also cool and gonna kick your ass. But also I like that it has women that are not necessarily like, they're not exclusively, I'm riding a whale into battle to murder you. Yeah. Like, some of them are like
Glinda is quite a, like, she's got like the school teacher vibe of just like a plain skirt and top combo, and you're like, hell yeah, hun, you go get it.
And like, they're also like, sometimes they're kind of shy. Yeah. Or they're like, I
mean, Neo doesn't even speak.
Yeah. Or they're like, and it's not exclusively like a very masculine kind of like ready to fight. It's like girls of all different forms wearing lots of different outfits and liking different things. Yeah. Expressing femininity in their own way and ready to fight. And I think that's why it's great to have Salem as the villain of this show and probably elevates her hotness to a higher level.
Yeah. I can't disagree with that. I literally, there is nothing I can say that disagrees with that. I think also it's very nice seeing more of Cinder's personality.
Salem's.
Why do we keep seeing Cinder?
It's because we got Cinder on the brain because we think that she's got death flags this season.
I don't want her to. I love her though.
But she one of these times, it's got to be the time.
If it's not Jean or RWBY, I'm gonna be so angry.
Yeah, because she's been killed by basically everyone else. One of them's got to get revenge.
Yeah. She's killed all of their friends.
I know, and she keeps getting killed by people who are not them. The time that does it.
Oh god, yeah, because Penny wiped her out last season. Penny's got. Wait, was it Penny or was it? No, it was Maria.
No, Penny.
It was Penny.
Because she iced him.
Yeah.
Penny iced him. Well, they didn't wipe her out, but she kind of won. She won that fight. Yeah. And Penny wiped her out in Volume 8. Yeah. And then we obviously have RWBY kind of got her pretty good, but it wasn't revenge or like avenging.
Even
the death
Raven
of Kira.
got her.
And Raven was the one who did the most work, and like. They don't even know each other. Like
Raven's like, who are you? Like the bit where she goes to Jean. Now we're again.
Yeah. Okay, we gotta get to talk about Cinder at some point. But because people really hate Cinder in the fandom.
What?
Yeah.
No, she is also a queen.
I don't really like.
I think it helps it's Jessica Negri.
Yeah, we do love Jessica Negri.
Too much.
But anyway, back onto the topic.
Salem
being hotter now. I think it's...
The amount of emotions you get to see her go through in the latest season
is what is... combined with the newest model
Yeah.
and the new outfit and the fact that she's on a war whale.
Yeah, you just get the personality of I'm a bad bitch.
Okay, and I would... What if we're gonna put her at a solid...
We're gonna put her at a solid 50 degrees.
She's a solid 50 degrees. She's doing it for the girls.
She out-trumps every model that they're possibly... Like, if they make... I don't know how they could make her hotter.
I think they'll find a way.
I feel like she's peaked.
No, because we've got a couple more seasons left. They've got to get all of these relics, and she's got to eventually probably die.
I don't want her to. But I kind of want her to feel sweet release.
I just let her die, man. That's all she wants.
This is all actually just a suicide mission.
It is. If the gods had let her die, none of this would have happened.
Basically, it's the gods' fault. Mainly as well because the god of light was like, I'm sorry. And then the god of darkness was like, hell yeah, babe, I can. And then she was like, great. And then the other guy was like, did you just go to my brother? And then he's like, oh, did you ask my brother first? Oh, this sucks. All right, bro, let's get it together.
Yeah, honestly, the brothers, the real enemy are these dudes.
God is the
enemy. No, she is a villain. She does terrible things and has killed people we know and love. But I also understand and respect her power, and that's what's hot. But do we need to cover? Okay, so we've gone from 0 to -3 to 4.5 to
0 to hero
50 degrees.
Yep.
Are we going to talk about the bonus topic, which is her in the OP looking like a nightmare devil? Because I think this is a less strong look for her in the OP of Volume 8 when she's haunting Oscar in the OP and she's got the bat wings.
Yeah, I think that's I don't know if it's the proportions.
I think the proportions are weird. I think the static imagery doesn't do it for her.
I think it's because it's meant to look like a haunting vision.
Too much. I think it's scary, but on a hotness level, it's gone too far off the other side.
Yeah.
The wings and the glowing red eyes and the haunting vampire pose.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. I think it's the scariness has upped, but the hotness has dropped because of it.
But I would argue that this is even not as scary.
Really?
Yeah, because I feel like...
Does it look too, not tropey, but...
Yeah, a little bit. Like, you would not picture that, like, flitting from, maybe we can work together, to then grabbing Oscar's face and being like, I'm not taking any of your nonsense, boy.
I feel like if they'd done it where instead of her like looming over him like that, if she'd appeared out the background and just put her hand on his shoulder and like then he does the same pose, because then it's like she doesn't really even need to do much and she's crippling him.
I think the power of Salem lies in the fact that she's like, she doesn't care.
Yeah.
And this is like I know it's meant to be like a nightmarish nightmare.
It's more
vision.
I guess it's Oscar's view of her.
Yeah, as a haunting monster. But
so Oscar doesn't think that Salem's hot.
Oscar does.
And I can understand that.
And that's fair. Like, our precious baby boy needs to be rescued. But
oh god, someone save him.
I know. I feel I'm my son. But yeah, less hot. I would put this one as down to like
-50.
I would say -20. It's still got a lot of the striking elements that are
That's
hot.
true. It's got the new model look.
-20.
-20.
Okay, so that brings us around to the toppest.
So what is the average temperature of Salem?
I don't want to calculate that because that means I have to do math.
Okay, we'll come back to that at the end. We'll have worked out by then what the average temperature of Salem is.
Hold on, I'm trying to do. I can do this.
You can do mental maths. I believe in you. In the meantime, I'll do some elevator.
That does not help.
Holly,
okay.
we were in top set. Oh no, I was.
You were in top set maths.
I don't know why. So basically, while Holly's trying to calculate, I'll do a little bit more of an intro to us. So we met in school. Secondary school, and we all now live together, us and a couple of other kids from school, because we were friends and we were like, hell yeah, let's live together. But I thought Holly was very intimidating when I first met her, and I was very scared of her because she was a cool nerd kid, and I invited her around on an Easter Sunday to come and watch Dinosaur King with me, and ever since we have been doing dumb stuff together.
Okay, I think it's 35.5 degrees.
Okay.
Cinder
is a good summer British temperature.
You just said cinder again.
God damn it! Just illegally get out of my brain!
Yeah, Salem, I might be wrong. Correct us if we're wrong.
If someone else can do the mental math.
But I would put, Salem at what did I say, 35.5?
Yeah, Salem equals 35.5.
A good British summer day.
Yeah.
There we go.
Like, that's like if you're in Britain and you have that kind of temperature, it is hot.
You don't want it any hotter than that.
No. Because otherwise, at that point, you're in danger.
Yeah, then it's too hot.
The danger zone.
Yeah, too hot. She is just right. In summary, Salem is just right.
She's on the cusp of becoming too hot. So, and that I think represents that. I think that represents quite well, actually.
Okay, so now that we've discussed that for 50 minutes...
50?
Let's move on to the longer of our two topics, brought to us by Amy.
So, now we're going to be moving on to my topic, which is which RWBY weapon is the sexiest? Because the way I got into this show was because Holly said, Amy, I think you'll like RWBY. And I looked at the original animation and thought,
You're like, Holly, I will not like RWBY.
And then Holly was like, okay, but Amy, the weapons. And I was like, okay, alright, I'll give it a look. Because there's something about the weapons which in themselves are just so sexy. So we're just going to go through each weapon of RWBY, Juniper, and then a couple of others. Yeah. Not villains.
We might cover.
We might cover villains another day. But, she's only had 2 cups of tea this morning.
I was not built for podcasting.
That's what the issue is.
I cannot speak.
But, we will... Yeah, so we've got, like, the main cast, and then we'll be moving on to a couple of wild cards, because I just think they're neat.
Okay, yeah, that is true. Because I think it helped that you like scythes and and sniper rifles.
We came from watching FMA, and Reza being a sniper, like, Reza being Reza, and then Reza also being an incredible shot, just like, oh...
I think watching Fullmetal Alchemist and also Soul Eater during our formative years probably helped us like RWBY.
Yeah, I just like well choreographed fight scenes and weapons which are multidimensional.
That is, I can respect that.
It's incredible I think it's incredible how each of these weapons can be used in so many different ways. They're so complex.
They're very versatile.
And the wielder has to be incredible at knowing their weapon. It's like a part of them at that point.
And using the, what's it called? When it knocks back.
Oh, like kickbacks and stuff.
Kickback of the weapon as a way to, like, increase mobility around the battlefield.
Like when Ironwood does with his guns.
Yeah.
And by his guns, I'm talking about his actual guns, not his beautiful biceps. I love him so much.
Okay, alright.
But moving on. So
opening up this topic, we're gonna kick us off with the main bad bitch, Ruby Rose, and her bad bitch of a weapon, the Crescent Rose.
Which is a scythe and a sniper rifle. Because, it's beautiful. So you've got... Wait, what do you mean war scythe?
That's, like, its mode when it goes into, like, extended
Oh,
scythe.
Okay. Right, so, scythes. Awesome in the first place because you've got the ability to, like, spin it round your body.
Yeah.
Which is very acrobatic.
Okay, yeah, and we're also not talking about, like, the real-life application, because some of these I'm like...
Some of these would be very impractical.
They're just so big and heavy and it would not work. But in world,
the beauty, the aesthetic beauty of how you can have a sniper rifle... Well, no, so you can have a scythe that you can bury the end of the scythe to give you such a solid base for a sniper rifle. You cannot tell me that is not the most beautiful thing.
It's not like in a movie where they have to staple down with, like...
Yeah, you have to bolt
down the sniper rifle so that it doesn't, like, knock back and kill someone.
Yeah.
It's, like, the fact that you can just, like, she, like, flips it around, sticks it in the ground, and it, like, holds steady.
It's perfectly counterbalanced to her body. And it's got a wide variety of movements.
I also like the and I think we'll have to get onto this when we talk about Crow's weapon, is I like how the blade is like a static kind of blade, and it is like, it's so like swiftly moves between the two of them.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's a very classy weapon, and I think the utility of it as both a melee scythe and a sniper rifle is great.
I just think RWBY's weapon is probably what I would consider the best weapon.
So we're opening with the best one.
We're opening with...
We've got to see if everything else can beat it.
Yeah,
so
I
think
think
a solid 10.
Yeah, a solid 10. No
10
longer degrees.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
Okay.
Crescent Rose, 10 out of 10. And the wielder is also damn good.
Okay.
Okay, so now...
we move on to Weiss's, whose name I can never remember. I've heard it said...
Myrtenaster.
I don't know. The Welsh in me is like... wants to say it like a...
Welsh word.
Like a Welsh word, but then I look at it and then I'm like, well, she's also German, like, you know, Weisschnee.
Yeah, I would say that's more of a... Okay, well, Weiss's sword...
Yes.
Is what? It's more of a... Yeah, it's a rapier, if anything. I like the fact that as it's a rapier, it makes more sense for her to do focused directional attacks with her glyphs, because it's not like a broadsword where you do striking, like, swishing sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's a rapier is meant to be more, like, point and stab.
We don't see her use it as a revolver very much.
No.
It is almost like Weiss, I would say, like, as we know, and having played the board game a whole bunch now, she's more like a utility fighter, and so she focuses more on, like, glyphs and,
support in general,
and then like we'll go in like she's like a high impact striker, rather than like she's like low HP,
very low HP,
high DPS, but
get the board game. Board game's incredible, and you will find that if you're playing as Weiss, as I have done most times, you will end up with just 1 HP
all the time
at the end. It's stressful.
But I would argue that I think Weiss's weapon is good. But I think Weiss's combat style is mostly the hotness of her weapon is minimized by the use of her glyphs.
Yeah, it's a very minimalistic weapon. It's simple. It's not like suave. What's the word?
Classy.
Classy.
It's a classy and sophisticated weapon.
Yeah,
but
which fits her aesthetic.
But as a standalone weapon, I think that it is less... It's not about the weapon, it's about the glyphs.
Yeah, for her it's more of how she uses her...
And uses it to direct, like,
she could
dust.
At the end just sort of have a stick. So I kind of am happy that it's a very pretty rapier, and like the fact that the way that the
revolver,
the chain,
chamber spins, and then clips in
for all the different types of dust that she can use and stuff like that. It's another one that she has to think on her feet very quickly for what kind of attack would be best.
Yeah,
and so it reflects her as in like it is a classic item which her mental prowess accentuates.
Yeah, I think it's the combo. Like, it is used to enhance his semblance rather than like
as its own attack thing.
Yeah, whereas like I feel like RWBY's weapon stands on its own.
Yeah.
And is helped by her ability to be very fast.
Yeah.
And it's not like, to be fair though, that's like, but I think
it's amazing how, because RWBY's is quite a cumbersome weapon, and it's amazing how she can still be so fast while using Crescent Rose.
Yeah. Whereas, but I think, I mean, to be fair, I feel like, are we going with like, because nobody else could use like this weapon in the same way that Weiss does.
Yeah.
So it does fit the user incredibly well.
It fits the user incredibly well, and I think aesthetically it is perfect for Weiss. I say it's a beautiful weapon because it looks so magical.
But it's not as sexy.
That's the thing. I think
line.
It's beautiful. I don't think it's sexy.
I don't look at Weiss's sword and go, oh, oof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think Weiss's sword might need to go down to a 6.
6? Okay.
Because it's pretty, but it's not sexy.
It's not. It is pretty. It is not sexy.
It's a different kind of feeling. That it imbues in my body.
Okay. Now we move on to Blake's weapon.
Blake's is just a gun.
The gamble shroud. No, it's not. It's because it's like it's that double-sided hook thing. So it's like Kohaku in Inuyasha.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's cool, but it's more just a gun. I like the way that it's got the rope in between and everything like that.
Okay, yeah, but this has it listed as both a katana, a cleaver, a pistol, a kurisagama, and a sheath.
No, don't get me wrong. I love Blake, and I like her fighting style of it.
Okay, but
like with it being a sickle, I think that's rad. I think that's very cool. And with it being like her being able to use it for mobility, I think is really cool.
Okay, yeah, that's true. And I think it works well for her as like she's like high mobility.
Yeah, she's a very nimble
fighter. Like, and she's also good because she can like use her like semblance to like disappear and like or with the help of other people be like made into ice and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I think it helps her mobility, but I think you are right, as a weapon in itself,
it's quite a bland weapon.
Like, I think it's more
practical.
It's practical, and I think it is cool, but I don't think it...
If I could use it, I'd be very happy. I think that would be rad. But I think if we're still comparing against RWBY's...
It's not sexy.
It's just not as sexy.
I think...
It's subtle.
Yeah, and I think the fact that she uses it, like, it's the most use she gets out of it is its gun form and its sickle form for mobility. And I would say the sickle form is probably its best form.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of her in that fight in Volume 6 with Adam, when it's just her, just the two of her.
It's
two of her, two of them.
It's just the two of her.
It's just the two of her. Well, technically it's Adam and two of her because she's using her semblance a lot to create duplicates, but you know.
Adam. It's
Adam.
I think the thing is, it's because her guns force people into... Her guns are used to put people where the other characters want them in a fight.
And then she uses the sickle to get stealth kills.
Yeah. So it's not like a main impact killer, it's more of a maneuvering weapon.
Yeah. And I think that's good, but it's less maneuvering in the way that, like, RWBY's maneuvers here by, like, she can use
propel herself.
So I think you are right, it's less sexy.
I think it's practical, which is very Blake.
Yeah.
It's
true, it's not showy.
And so that, unfortunately, if I've put, like, Weiss's down as a 6, I think we're looking at maybe a 4.
I think you might be right here. Okay, Blake.
And don't get me wrong, I absolutely love Blake, but I don't think she cares about the snazziness of her weapon.
Yeah, she's not really here for style. She's here she's an assassin and she's very blunt. She's here to get stuff done.
Exactly. Whereas Yang
is the flashiest bitch in town.
Yang wants you to know that her weapon is beautiful when she punches you in the face with it.
It's the Ember Salika.
Salika.
Or Salisa. Well, I don't know what we want to call this.
Well, this is just the OG weapon, and then we've got her prosthetic afterwards.
Yeah.
So, it's just... The thing is, right, I absolutely love this, but it also reminds me of a Nerf gun. You know how, like, bulky and plasticky...
You mean the way it has the dust... cartridges in it, so it looks a bit like a Nerf gun.
It looks like a very plasticky, bulky sort of thing.
Yeah, but the way she flicks her arm out to extend it.
Oh, yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, like, I can see when you look at it, and I think maybe when she's using it as punching to get, like, that ricochet shot off.
Yeah.
Like, the bombarding, just as, like, the gun, like, punches.
Yeah.
It's... like, not doing its standout moment, but, like, when she uses it to, like, punch the ground, and then do a triple backflip, and then kick someone in the face.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or she uses it to punch behind her to propel herself forward.
Yeah.
And then punch someone in and let the gun go off at the same time.
Yeah.
It's very sexy.
I think, because the issue I can see with this weapon is, it's like, you know the anti-personnel weapons in Attack on Titan where they've got the guns?
And they are forward-facing.
Yeah, and they can, the minute they've engaged something, they can only shoot that way. I feel like Yang might, because she can't get the fluidity of movement like RWBY or Weiss could, but she makes up for it in raw power.
Yeah,
And I love the fact that she wants it to be absolutely bright yellow.
Yeah, I respect that Yang, because it's like when that bit when Blake's like, I'm gonna go and disable this tower, and then she's like, Yang, you're not exactly great at stealth.
Yeah.
And she's there on her like yellow motorbike with her yellow outfit and her big gauntlets and her big hair, like, excuse you. Yeah. And you're like, Yang, because Yang is the sort of person who likes the attention.
Yeah.
She's like wakes up and chooses titties out every day.
Yeah.
And I respect
she
that.
She wants everyone to know that she knows that she's beautiful and that she will kick your ass.
Yeah, and I think it really suits her.
I think that the weapon is perfect made for her, and also I really like, because like how is it season 7 when they meet up with Penny's dad, and he's like, you painted it.
Okay, now we're getting on to the next one.
True. Okay.
So if
basically,
we rank this, but what will we then have to rank it again, but with the combo of the arm?
I'm saying that this is a solid 8.
Solid 8, okay.
Because it is damn sexy.
Yeah. But it does have moments where it does look a bit like a Nerf gun.
Yes. It's something like, I can imagine that as a child you would look at it and be like, bright, powerful thing. Oh, hell yeah.
Okay.
And she's still kind of in that like, oh yeah, big bulk power.
The note I've written for this one is Nerf gun, but sexy.
Nerf gun but sexy.
Okay, but now we move on to
her prosthetic.
The prosthetic.
Which is,
I think we should rank these as a combo.
Okay, fine.
So we're not just going the prosthetic, but it's like, but Yang now being like the dual wielding, but they both have a similar function.
Yeah.
Because I would say that the prosthetic arm enhances it's no longer a pair of gauntlets. It's a gauntlet and a prosthetic arm gauntlet.
Yeah.
Which is just cooler.
It's just pretty damn rad. Like, the fact that it's then also literally part of her body.
Yeah.
It's like, it's the fact that she spray paints it and he's like, you painted it. And she's like, well, like, she does not care that she's just like, kind of, not ruined this guy's work, but like, she's like, it's me now.
It's yellow, so it's me now. I just like the bit where it's like that Volume 5 fight where it's good. You know the bit where they play Armed and Ready, but it's the acoustic version?
Yes.
And she flips out her gauntlet. They're like, she's like, is this all you? And they're like, what are you expecting, a party? And she's like, cool, just checking. And then they start talking smack. And then she just, like, she like looks at one, she flicks her arm down and the gauntlet comes out. And you're like, oh damn. And then they're like, as I was saying, and then she just twitches her other arm and the gun comes out. And it's like such a subtle movement. And you're like...
And I also like the fact that she plays the joke on Nora.
With it, the fact that it pops off.
Yeah, the fact that it's still a prosthetic arm. I like the fact that it is a weapon which disabled people can use. Yep. Literally. Like,
I also like, and like, so Yang's comes from like she's a puncher, right? So she's like melee combat most of the time. Like, she does have some range capabilities, but she shines in like close combat, high damage
shines
melee
in punching
attack.
you in the face.
And I like that it's a metal arm.
Yeah.
Like, I like that if she's gonna punch you and she wants to be spiteful about it, she could use the metal. I do it like in Fullmetal Alchemist when Ed uses the metal one.
Yeah, and it's
on
like...
Hohenheim.
Yeah!
And he's like, did you have to use the metal arm?
Especially when it's not his... It is his right arm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it hits harder. Like, it's heavier and it's harder to use.
Yeah.
But it hits hard because it's made of, like...
And Yang can punch good with both arms.
Yeah.
We know that because of her dual weapons, really. But the fact that she will then choose her right arm to deck someone with...
It's just good. It's just... I think it... Because it's like a symbol of character development. It's a prosthetic arm.
It's so cool!
And...
The robotic technology for it on its
cool.
own is sexy as hell.
Yeah, okay.
So actually, I'm gonna say Yang's prosthetic arm is an 8.5 or a 9.
Oh, okay. So if we put this as like Yang but with prosthetic arm and as a combo, we put that at a 9. So she goes from an 8 to a 9 with the addition of this prosthetic arm.
Yeah, different arm attachment makes it sexier.
is sexy.
Is sexy. Okay, so now we're going to be moving on to Juniper. And I read that as croc. And I was just thinking, Jean's got a pair of Crocs.
I almost read it as cloaca moors. And that's even worse.
Chicken butt.
Chicken butt sword.
Jean's sword.
Okay, Jean... And it is funny because RWBY in Volume 1 does remark that it is it's like an antique.
Yeah.
So this is already outdated. And it does look quite similar to in Volume 6 when we see the flashback and Ozma ends up in that body of that new dude.
Yeah.
He has a sword that looks very similar. So we can believe that this is like a real old school weapon.
Wouldn't it be rad if it was actually like one of Ozpin's, like Ozma's?
Oh my god, if Ozpin, like one of Ozpin's past lives was Jean's great grandfather. That would be really
That would be
cool.
It would be the fact that like Ozpin sees it again and is like, oh, he's got my sword.
Oscar's there like, my son.
Oh no, because Jean's pushed him up against the wall so many times.
That was family struggle. But no, I don't think that's the case. But that would be pretty sick if Jean was descended from one of Ozpin's.
Yeah. But the thing is, we've got to talk about the sword and the shield, and he's got the upgrades. I think the thing is, we can definitely say that the sword and the shield, the base sword and shield that he had from the beginning,
okay, yes,
are classic but not
they're
sexy.
dumb, but they're meant to be viewed that way.
Yeah.
Because Jean in the beginning
is a baby boy.
He's a nice boy, but I think we can all agree that Jean at the beginning is not meant to be interpreted. Like the first episode,
is Jean himbo or is he too?
Oh, Jean is big himbo.
Big himbo.
He's a big himbo. And he starts off the series by throwing up on Yan's shoe. So I
love him so much.
But when you think about Volume 2, and you're like, John's a dumbass this whole time. And he's like kind of good and he's kind of trying his best, but he's kind of dumb. But then he does the thing where he gets to the dance and he's told Pyrrha, look, if you can't get a date, I'll show up in a dress.
Oh!
And he then does that. And like he finds out that Pyrrha's like has a heart-to-heart with him, and she's like, you're the kind of guy I'd want to be here with. He's learned to not be into Weiss anymore because she's turned him down, and he realizes that she likes Neptune, and he's like, I respect women in this house.
Yeah.
Then he goes and puts on a dress, and then he can dance.
Yeah.
And you're like, suddenly Jean goes from like
weird dorky
kind of nice. You're a nice boy, a good boy,
basic nice dude,
kind of lame but good boy.
Yeah,
like to
best boy. I love you.
Oof,
husband material,
proper husbando material.
He would treat you so goddamn well.
Would. That boy,
Jean would treat you so right.
Jean from the beginning to now can get it, and I think
he's leveled up so much.
And I think his weapons represent
his improvement.
Yeah. From like this boy who was kind of dorky to this now like grown man who's and
he's not lost the original sense of himself though, which is what I really like.
But
he's
that doesn't
extending on himself.
Yeah. So I think his weapons represent his like growing up and becoming stronger and also going from kind of less sexy to sexy.
Yeah.
But
I don't think they themselves, even the upgraded forms.
But I think we have to come into Sword and Shield is a classic.
Sword and Shield is a classic. And it is very knightly and very...
And there's people who quite like the dynamic of like forbidden romances of knights and princesses.
Way to out us like that.
Look, okay, I'm coming out like...
We're delving our hearts into this, guys.
Yeah, I would argue that adds points to it.
True, I think it's very chivalric.
Yeah.
Chivalrous.
It's chivalric. It's chivalrous. Chivalric code is what it's called.
I should not be allowed to use words.
You're a history lady.
It doesn't mean I can say the words, I can just read them.
It comes from it's proper like historical chivalrous knight in shining armor kind of vibe.
Yeah, and he would do all that he can to protect you. Oh, I'm thinking of the bit with Pyrrha on the phone.
Oh, okay, yeah. My son.
Basically, it levels up from a 2 to a...
I think this shows the greatest improvement, but I wouldn't say it's... I wouldn't say it's... I would
I wouldn't say it's better than Weiss's.
Should we also put this as a 6?
Maybe a 5, because it's kind of in between Blake's and Weiss's.
Yeah, okay, it's a 5.
It's a
5 out of 10. Great improvement, but still room.
Yeah. Nora's is a 10. I'm just saying that...
but you're saying that because you are Nora.
I am her and I love her.
Okay.
It's a hammer. It's pink. Shoots hearts.
And it's also a grenade launcher.
Yeah. Like, what is not to like? Like, how can...
Yeah, but okay, is it sexy?
Hell yeah! I want to be punched in the stomach with that.
Because I would not argue that it's sexy.
Really?
I don't get me wrong. I think it is sexier than like Jean, and it's of all of them, it is probably of Team Ranger's weapons.
It's best by far of Ranger's weapons, but
is it? And if we're marking down Blake's for not being sexy, or Weiss's,
it glows pink. It's like such a strong. She can use it to like bounce with. It's such a warhammer.
Yeah, I think it's very cool.
As Nora, think it's sexy.
Yeah, but is it as sexy as when RWBY gets it out of that in like volume 3 when they've landed all of their like lockers onto that Nevermore.
She does,
and then she pulls it out. And then she, like, extends it, flips it around her body, and then stands it down, and it does the thunk.
Oh, that's
it's not as sexy.
Oh, I hate that. I agree with you on that.
Don't get me wrong. I do think it's rad. I like that it shoots hearts and is a grenade launcher, and I love it when she uses it to, like...
I expect that it hits harder than Yang.
Oh, yeah. Like, she wipes whole people out. Because especially if she's, like, powered up. We've seen her break through that electrical barricade.
Oh god, I hope she's okay. Oh, my baby girl.
And I love it, like, even in volume 1, that bit where she uses it she like hits it to throw Jean across, and then she stands on it and fires it to sail across through the air.
Yeah.
And then bong hits the bird on the nose.
And how when...
No, it's not a bird, it's a scorpion.
When it was in the food fight, and she can still, like... Because it's still a staff weapon.
But that's a watermelon.
Yeah, no.
In the food fight.
It is a watermelon.
That is not...
But it still works for my point that it's still a highly maneuverable staff weapon.
True, I do, yeah, but it isn't as sexy as Ruby's.
Fine. We can go with a 9. If Yang's arm is a 9, you cannot tell me. You cannot tell me.
Yeah, but okay, the issue here is I like Yang. And you like Nora. Okay, I can't argue with that. I'll put it as a 9.
Give me a 9.
9 out of 10.
Yes! My girl! God, I love her. Okay.
Pink heart grenades are good.
It's just the fact that it's so feminine, but it's also a warhammer.
Yeah.
Like, how rad is that? And now we go on to the painful one. It's Pyrrha.
Oh, Pyrrha.
You left us too soon.
Pyrrha, I miss you.
And we love you.
I miss you, Pyrrha.
Milo. I don't know if it's Milo or I don't know how to pronounce it with the Greek accents, unfortunately.
Milo and Akuo.
Akuo?
Maybe
Apparently in Greek it means speak and listen, which is very cute.
Oh,
I respect that.
miss you. I miss you, Pyrrha.
Pyrrha's, again, has the simple elegance, but is also... Oh god, I forget it goes for the rifle.
Honestly, the bit... Right, so Pyrrha, I would say, when you look at it, you're like, okay, sword, like spear, shield, and rifle. You're like, okay.
I think that's better than Jean's basic thing, because...
100%. And the bit in... I can't remember what episode it is, but when they're doing their, like, a landing, strategy.
Yeah.
And she jumps down, she lands on that tree, and then she, like, scouts around with the rifle.
Oh.
But then she sees Jean falling, and then you have that, spinning, rotating shot around her, and it extends, like, bit by bit into the spear. And then she throws it, and the gun goes off as she throws it, so it has more propulsion to catch Jean. Is so good.
I feel like Pyrrha's might need to be at least an 8.
Yeah.
Because it's classic antiquity sort of beautiful sword, like not like broadsword, sword and shield, which like broadswords they don't need to be. Obviously, you did have ceremonial broadswords, but spears are easier to look beautiful, and they're stealthier. Not so cumbersome. You're able to also do the spinning it around your body. Basically, I really like the acrobatics of any staff weapon.
I think she is both good with it as her semblance, but I think because they make it very clear in the show that she doesn't like to be flashy about her semblance.
Yeah.
She uses it with so much skill and precision. And also, she's an all-rounder. Like, she's a melee with it. She can do ranged, and she can use her shield.
Yeah.
And so she is, like...
The fact that she uses the shield as a weapon is like Captain America styling
Captain America style shield, and she can fight in close combat. She can throw the spear, and she can shoot it as a rifle. This pair covers all, and also just that rotating shot where it extends and she's got her thumb out and then she shoots. It's
okay. So then, actually, are we saying that Pyrrha's might be like a 9.5? Because it's definitely not. I can't say that it's as good as the Crescent Rose.
No, but it is, but I also don't think actually visually though I think it's not that exciting.
The shield is beautiful if you're going, once again, historical point. If you're going for like nice Greek shield, oof, baby, British Museum would like that. But also, it is.
I think as a bit, because I think I would be comfortable with it as an 8.
Okay. I can go with an 8 because I think Pyrrha does make it better, and also because we don't get to see it in action anymore.
If you don't,
we look back in hindsight.
We look back in hindsight and we love it deeply.
And we love Pyrrha.
I'm gonna give it an 8 because
give it an 8. I think that works
because I think Pyrrha adds to it, and if we're judging weapons, we're judging weapons. But
then if we're judging weapons,
gone too soon.
Stormflower, which is such a cute name. Ren's is bad.
I respect Ren not listening to gender stereotypes and being both pink and here for flowers.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, I like Ren. Except for when, in the last episode, he was being a little...
No,
not in the last... Better.
He got episode better. When he was being a bitch for no reason.
Yeah, he was just having his whiny moment, and you're like, oh, why? But I like... It's a good gun. I like the fact that he uses the, stabby bits. What am I trying to say?
The blades
to the stabby bits. I mean, I'm not wrong.
I hope the microphone didn't just pick up my tummy rumble then.
It is lunchtime. But I like that he uses the blades, I was going to say stabby parts again, to, like, climb things.
But it has a similar kind of effect as Blake's weapon.
Yeah.
And we gave Blake's weapon a 4, and I would say Blake's weapon is sexier.
Really?
Yeah, like the colour scheme, the way she throws it for mobility.
Yes, actually, if it had a connecting thing.
Yeah, it's not as... Like, don't get me wrong, it's cool, and I like how he can do that kind of thing that RWBY does and stick it into stuff for, like, more stability when he shoots.
Yeah.
But, like, sticking it in, like, a pickaxe isn't especially sexy.
Yeah.
As a gun, it's not especially sexy.
Yeah. I would say then it's probably a 3.
Yeah.
It's just not that great. Like, it works for him. It's a very understated, practical. I like that it's green, but it could be better.
Like, and it doesn't lend itself, like, at least Blake, the aesthetic of the ribbon on it, like, there's that one shot in volume 5 when she's fighting Ilya.
Yeah.
In my head, I was like, gay lizard. Ilya. And she's fighting Ilya, and Ilya knocks one out of her hand, and she spins around and catches the other one with her other hand. And that's really cool.
Yeah.
Whereas
Ren can be easily disarmed.
Ren's doesn't have that kind of style. It's not sleek and cool. It's just... It's green.
It's green. You literally having it's green
that's
as the comment.
Oh
my god.
It's green.
Floating array, Penny's weapon.
Which is also green, but is sexy.
Yeah. It's a whole load of swords.
It's got all... If one sword was a 6 and or a 5...
It's got so many.
This is so many swords. I think there is
an exact
that it's
number. On the puppet strings. I like that they can fold. I like the fact that
it
turns
into a big laser.
Oh, yeah. Oh, damn. Okay, so actually, I think Penny's is going to be quite high ranking.
Yeah, I think we...
And I'm not sure if that's on 4, but it is easy to hack. as we're finding out
As
now.
we're currently finding out, yeah.
I like the
true.
fact that they're spinny, and the fact that somehow, even though they're spinning, that doesn't tangle up the, like, strings.
I was going to talk about Undertale, but we haven't played Undertale yet.
No, I haven't
But
played
I
Undertale.
do
I'm sorry.
like... I was going to say it's a bit like Sans, because Sans has, like... He has, like, a bunch of, like, heads that fire lasers, and there's a lot of them.
Does he?
Yes.
That's rad.
It's cool. Sans is really cool. He's
the sassy...
He's the sassy, shorter skeleton. Yeah, he's good. But, we're getting off topic.
These can do hack and slash, they can do point and fire. I think they're just well-rounded, and they're sleek.
They're a sleek design, but I will argue, I think, and we're not including this in it because it's literally Penny's feet, it is helped by the fact that Penny can use her feet to Iron Man herself into flight.
That's true.
And so I think as a weapon, they're really cool. And, like, don't get me wrong, that bit in, like, Volume 1 where she, like, sticks them into the plane that Roman Torchwick's trying to fly away on and then drags it backward.
Yeah.
Like, is very cool.
But her being static
And the fact that she's
work
heavy
as well.
and can, like, pull it backwards. And the way she, like... Okay, it is a bunch of swords, so it is inherently sexy.
It's just so cool, because you're like, you're not even dual-wielding at this
No.
point. You're like octa-wheeling.
Wielding.
Octa-wheeling.
I wonder, does it list how many swords there are?
At least 7.
Because you can count them, I think, because they steal one in that episode.
Single blade, service separate. Penny can also revolution. No, it's not telling me how many. Hang on, wait, I'll Google it on my phone quickly. How many swords is too many swords is the next question.
This is going back to Jean, though, but is Jean's weapon sexiness helped by the fact that he puts part of Pyrrha's weapons into his now?
Ooh, that's true. Well, no, because that's not sexy, that's just adorable
That's just
and
sad.
heartbreaking.
Okay.
Penny,
Alright, that's a
how
valid point.
many swords?
How many swords is too
The
sexy?
exact number of blades Penny can split her weapon into is unknown, but she seems to have anywhere between 8 and 12 blades. That's quite a lot of swords.
That's a lot of swords.
Like, I'm not gonna lie, I probably couldn't use one. But I think being able to... But that's also Penny, and I love her. I think we've got to go with something like a 7, because they're not flashy, they're just sort of... They're kind of like Weiss's. It's like an elegance.
Yeah, and they also add style points to her look when she's wielding them.
Yeah, but they themselves, if it wasn't for Penny's abilities as a robot, I don't think they would be as good.
I don't think it's helped by Penny. Penny is like kind of cute, but I would not be like I would not be like Penny's a sexy babe. She's cute. She's a little.
She is combat ready.
I'm combat ready.
I love her.
I love her so much. But I wouldn't be like, you wouldn't be like,
Oof.
Unless Penny can get it, and then I support her completely. But, like, I think it's good for her, but
Yeah.
it's not.
It's good for
7
her.
out of 10.
Yeah, I go with a 7. Right, now we're moving on to Winters. Because, you know.
Okay, hold on. Okay, yeah, you go from the beginning.
So now we're going on to Winters, which is named ? We're still, by the way, I didn't actually say this at the beginning, we're still on the RWBYfandom.com/wiki. So if you want to find all the weapons that we're looking at, you can go on there. And on Winter's page, her sword just has a bunch of question marks, and I respect that. Basically, it's a sword.
But it can't split into 2 swords.
It's a sword, but sometimes it's 2!
Yeah, basically it's 2 swords.
I think it's the same point as Weiss's, where it's like, yeah, it's a beautiful sword. It's sleek, elegant, classic, but...
When Winter's sword hilt is opened, it reveals a second hilt within. This hilt is part of another sword, which is sealed in the hollow fuller of the sword.
It just keeps going down like a, what is it, Matryoshka?
Yeah, and then she's like, here's another sword! No, but, like, I think it's a good sword.
Mm.
And I
think it's prettier than Ren's.
it's a proper classy dueling sword.
Yeah.
And also, this is hard though, because we do think Winter is very sexy.
Oh, Winter, I love. God.
But I do think that Winter is made sexier by her glyphs. in the same way that Weiss is made sexier by Hickliffs.
Yes. I think I like how Winter's so controlled. She's got very precise, controlled, and militaristic movements.
Dual wielding, man, is always like
that with her and Crow. When her and Crow have that fight,
the Volume 3 Crow and
when
and
Ruby's
fight.
just there, like, that's my uncle.
I love it so much.
But I definitely think Winter swords are made better by belonging to Winter.
Yeah, I think on it as an individual sword,
I would pick up that swords and be like,
I would pick up that swords.
I would pick up those swords and I would be like, hell yeah, these are pretty. I would own one and like to have it on my wall.
But it doesn't have the spinning revolver cartridge that clips in
exactly.
to set dust.
So I think it's gonna have to be a 5.
Yeah.
Because it's better than Blake's aesthetically, but
Is it though? I don't know if it is.
what?
Like, it's a sword.
It's a beautiful.
It's a sword.
It is a swords. You can go with a 4.5. You can go with a 4 if you want, but I'm saying it's a 5 because it's got that classy elegance.
Okay, well, this is your section, so if you say it's a 5.
I'm saying it's a 5.
Okay.
That is how democracy works. Okay. And now we move on to Crow's badass
Harbinger.
Oh.
Harbinger?
Harbinger. Like the Harbinger
I
of
want to
death.
say Harbinger of Death, but they pronounce stuff weird in this show.
Scythe, sword, shotgun, 10 out of 10. I love it.
See, I'm going to put it out there.
Oh.
And I know that it's meant to be cool when Crow's, sword starts turning into the scythe.
Uh-huh.
But I don't think the clunky way it does that is as sexy as Ruby's Crescent Rose when she unsheathes it.
That's true. It's got the kind of, more of a steampunky...
Yeah, and I'm going to say it. I don't think when...
I like the way you're saying it, like you're going to say something real controversial.
Okay, it's
I'm putting it out
It's because
there.
Crow is very sexy.
Yeah.
So I don't think that, as a sword, it's kind of big and chunky.
It's good enough to stab through someone, though.
Yeah, I know. I'm impressed that happened.
Maybe he shouldn't have had a dumb fishing rod.
Yeah, that was so dumb. We are not talking about... Okay,
Yeah.
one day we'll do the dumbest,
yes.
stupidest weapon.
Because Clover's is up there. Clover's is probably up there as the single most
How did you
stupid
graduate?
weapon.
With a fishing
rod.
hook! Okay, but, it's quite thick and chunky when he fights with it. Stop laughing at Crow's sword.
I would not be laughing.
He draws... It's quite hefty. It's not got the elegance of the swords or Penny swords or Weiss's sword. And also, the end just kind of pops off and it is a gun that he shoots without, it's not got any of the, Pyrrha's, the rifle.
Yeah.
It's just... the end just flops off.
It's a very
a lighter.
heavy hack and slash weapon.
Yeah, and I think obviously it's cool because it's a scythe sword gun. But
that's kind of like how any scythe sword gun, like any Final Fantasy weapon,
the base,
is
you're
oof.
like, damn, that's a scythe sword gun.
That's just
hell
kind of rad.
But I actually think it's possibly too clunky for it to be
Effective.
particularly sexy.
Okay, I can get behind what you're saying, but I still think it's rad as hell. I think the thing is, I think it's maybe below Yang's prosthetic.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I would say yes.
Do you think it's at Pyrrha's level?
Yes.
Okay, give it an 8.
Okay.
Let's have an 8.
An 8. Give it an 8.
Give it an 8. Mainly also I just love Crow. So
Yeah, but I think that's another one where Crow elevates it.
Yeah.
I think it is cool, but it's not as cool as Crescent Rose.
Yeah, I think that's the issue. Crescent Rose,
Crescent Rose
surprisingly,
sets the standard.
Yeah, surprisingly the main character is the best weapon. Who would have thought?
Good.
Now we go on to the long memory.
Which is Ozpin's cane.
Well, Ozma's
cane. That then becomes Ozpin's cane that is now Oscar's cane. The Oz's cane.
Oz's. Do you think he can only actually, he has to go into the body of someone who's got a similar name?
I think that's yes. I think that's implied.
Because I think that would be great. If, like, no, because, like, one day he just turns up and is like a Greg. And I'm not dissing the name Greg.
I'm
just saying, you'd be like, oh yes, my past life, Ozma, Ozpin, Oscar, Greg. It just wouldn't really fit.
Yeah, that's true.
But the cane, I think it's dumb as rocks. But I love it. It's just, you can imagine just an old woman beating you over the head with her cane, and to me that's like Maria Calavera.
Okay, but is it... Okay, first of all, we need to cover arcane sexy.
In a way. Oh.
I would say... Oh! I didn't think of it like that! No, okay. Because I would say, like, Draco Malfoy's dad, Lucius Malfoy...
True.
Does make a good point to show that canes can be sexy.
And Roman even makes a good point showing that canes can be sexy. Because let's not forget my boy Roman.
Okay, but
I love him.
But I don't know. I feel because on the one hand, Oscar's a beautiful baby boy.
He's so cute. I love how actually no. The thing that makes the cane sexy is the fact that like when Oz takes over Oscar and he suddenly stands and like rests separates his feet a little,
but that's just
rests
Ozpin,
the cane.
Headmaster Ozpin being
Dilf.
Like, yeah, okay, alright.
Whereas baby boy,
it's just funny. Like, it's, don't get me wrong, I'm glad he can fight with it, but I'm also like, my son, I'm so proud of him.
Yeah.
Which is not a sexy feeling.
Yeah, I think with Ozpin, it was more sexy, but it kind of, I just think it's really cute with Oscar.
Yeah,
it's like he's gonna grow into it.
It's like a little bit too big for him.
Yeah.
And he's like, don't get me wrong, I think the clockwork kind of steampunk aesthetic and the engraving on the hilt are pretty cool.
That's true.
But
Oscar's gonna grow into it.
Yeah, but also at the end of the day, he is hitting stuff with a stick. And...
yeah, at the end of the day, you are just kind of...
he's just whacking it with a stick.
Bonk, bonk.
Bonk. Bonk Salem to death. Go to horny jail.
Oh my god. I don't know what that leaves us with. Does that...
It's not sexy, but it can
be made sexy.
But no, as a weapon on its own.
As a weapon on its own, it's just a stick. So maybe like a 1.
I'm sorry, Oscar. I think I will one day be proud of the Oscar's going to grow up to be a beautiful boy, but right now he is my precious son boy, and he's got a stick.
He might not grow up. We don't...
Stop!
Salem's got her hands on him.
My son!
Tortured baby boy.
Crow. Oh, I didn't write a note for crows.
Bulky.
Too
big.
Too thick.
Read into that as you will.
Oz is a bonk.
Oz is bonk.
Oz is bonk. Okay, so now we're on to the best character.
The OG best character of the whole show.
Maria Calavera.
She's just your friendly neighborhood nan.
I love her.
And she will fuck you up and also be sassy as she's doing it.
She is so... I'm honestly, like, people who are, like, angry at the newer series because... for some reason.
Why?
Because the showrunner passed away and then they had to figure out how to do season 4 and then everyone's mad about it.
I think they've done so good.
Yeah, and then also they said gay rights, and I think that also, like, I think people aren't going to say it, but I think the gay rights in this show is the reason why people are angry about it.
Really?
Yeah. And I think that's not, they're like, now you're pushing an agenda. And that's not what Monty would have wanted. And I don't think they would have put gay rights in the show if Monty didn't want that. So I think the fact that RWBY now getting really real.
No, because the thing is, you cannot have watched the earlier seasons and not seen Bumblebee. Like, yeah, I am sorry.
But I think people.
Would you rather her be with Adam? Adam.
People would. Some people would.
People are like, I would rather have her be with an abusive ex.
Or Blake's son. they had a lot of options. I think it doesn't help. But I also think that's one of the reasons why people don't like it now, is they think it's pushing agendas, and then they want to try and put words into the creators' mouths
That's
to
so
say
sad.
that's why. Because RWBY's now become a show that says gay rights. It's like, hey, let's help this gay lizard and Jean's sister's wife.
Oh, Jean's sister's wife?
Yeah. I
love
think,
her.
and obviously I think it's like, you can't deny that Volume 4 and Volume 5 had some pacing issues.
But also, that was due to what must have been quite a trauma
I think it was
for
a
a lot of
traumatic
people.
time. They were moving into a new engine, which was Maya, and then they had a lot of people who were like, we have to figure out what this show is now.
Yeah, we've lost our guiding person in this, who was obviously a friend. We want to continue this in his legacy anyway, because we want to, it's much nicer for them to keep it going rather than to just let an entire fan base down as well.
Yeah, and I think they've moved it into a place that is kind of more inclusive, respectful of a show that has 4 main female characters, and also is now like, you know what? Yeah, let's be gay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I have a lot of respect for that, but I'm going to say that's why I think people these days are angry at it, and they want to they all want to complain about RWBY. And not exclusively, like, I will say that there have been elements that have had issues, or like they've had like plot threads that have gone like kind of unsatisfyingly resolved. But I think the good outweighs the bad.
Yeah.
Like, so much.
I think they're doing the best that they can.
Yeah.
With what they have. They're staying true to the characters, which is mainly the best thing. We still get the good fight scenes. The
first arc in Volume 6 with the apathy.
Oh
really
my god,
good.
that was
such a good season.
I was terrified.
And we watched Volume 7, like, marathoned it, and if you've marathoned it, the pacing of that season is like outstanding.
Yeah.
And Volume 8's been really good as well.
Yeah.
So
I think it's just getting better and better with each series, to be completely honest.
But this is just us talking about RWBY. But if you haven't been watching RWBY, Maria Calavera came in beginning of Volume 6. And she's this old lady who is
sassy,
the Grim Reaper, which I think is such a good pun because the enemies in this show are called the Grim.
Yeah. And it's also, I love the fact that Crow is like, oh my god, you were like my idol growing up.
And he says, I base my weapon off of yours, which is a scythe, which is really cool.
And then she sasses him about like his alcoholic tendencies and stuff like that.
She's a great lady. We love Maria Calavera. She's so sassy. She tells everyone like what to do,
and her weapons being the fact that they are it's one cane that separates into 2, doesn't it?
It's like 2 pickaxes that is on like a dual double-sided lightsaber kind of setup.
Yes.
And then she can separate them into 2 hand axes,
which then she can throw one
and then magnet it back.
Yeah.
And she uses that for like kills, like that one where she does that kills that one in that blind lizard lady. Oh, no, she gets blinded by that lizard. She gets blinded by the Cockney. The Cockney lizard.
That's the one thing I've got to say. No one knows how a Cockney accent actually works. No one
can Cockney accent.
No one can Cockney accent. Not even Cockneys.
My dad can. He was raised in Cockney.
Really?
Yeah, he knows proper Cockney rhyming slang, he does.
I don't think it makes any sense, but, I don't think I can say that while we're in London.
No.
But I feel like maybe that's like suddenly a group of Londoners will come and kill us because I insulted the Cockney language. But
when she fights the Cockney lizard,
when she gets blinded
by the Cockney lizard,
she still manages to kick her ass.
With the fact that these are like magnetic, dual-wielding scythe staff.
Yeah. And also, she is Latina?
I don't think Latina exists in the world of RWBY, but I think it's heavily implied that she's got that, like, what's the Day of the Dead kind of aesthetic going on. So I think she is like a Latina woman.
Yeah. I like the overall design to the weapons. I think they're aesthetically beautiful and also practical. I like the fact that she's gone for, like, she's just this little old lady now, and she's just going around with this skull cane.
Yeah, the skull cane is very cool.
It's just quite rad. And the fact that it can do kind of like Pyrrha with the magnetic sort of thing is great.
Yeah, I like that that's his function.
I like that it was good enough that Crow based his off of it.
I like that it's both a scythe and a dual wielding, which we've already established is very sexy.
Same, and it's a staff, like, just being a staff weapon in itself,
I think this is a strong contender.
It is. But wait, what are the other numbers that we've got?
Okay.
Because is it sexier? I'd say it might be a 9.
I think it's a 9.
God damn.
Because
Yang's and Nora's are both 9, so it's gonna have to be a 9.
9 out of 10.
Damn, son.
Scythe and dual wield.
Yeah, and skulls.
And yeah,
But have you put scythe with a H?
maybe. I did.
No,
Why did I
you
write
put it in the wrong way.
Why did I put the H there?
I was like, that's not where the H goes.
Dual wield and
Skull.
skulls. Yeah.
Like,
Strong points being made here.
go in for the aesthetic. Strong points like skulls and bonk. Okay.
Yeah, okay. We're on to our last, the 15th weapon that we've
Which
reviewed today.
Holly
We're
really
over an
wanted
hour
in.
Yeah, because I think the fandom loves Velvet. I think more than we love. Like, I like Velvet.
I like Velvet, but I don't think I know enough about Velvet.
Team Coffee are a huge fan favourite. So I think
Really?
we would be... Like, the fact that we haven't put in, like, Coco's machine gun handbag...
I mean, that is kind of rad, yeah.
But like...
We were going mainly for main character status
but I
ones.
think we have to give in... It's Anisadora, I think is this one is called.
I mean, it's every weapon.
The one what she can... Well, basically what she does is she takes a photograph and then her box creates a hard light projection of the thing using hard light dust.
Yeah.
Because, you know, that sentence makes perfect sense. Thanks, Laura of RWBY. And it basically projects and she can then emulate the fighting style of anyone that she's seen and then taken a picture of.
God, she's so clever then. Like, being able to just, like, instantly understand the battle tactics.
But I think that's her semblance, is she can, like, photographic memory. So she can photographically memorize
Hell yeah,
the
Velvet.
fight style of them. So I think it is every weapon, but
I don't think that makes it sexy.
and I think it is a cool weapon.
Yeah, I think it's rad as all hell.
But I think also the durability of it is we've only ever seen it used once in the episode 12. 12?
You say that so convinced.
12 of volume 3.
Yeah.
The
attack on Beacon.
The attack on the full of Beacon
Yeah.
and she uses it and then she uses it against that robot. But it doesn't seem to be
Can
particularly...
take down a Gundam.
Yeah. And it doesn't store copies, I don't think.
Yeah.
Like, because
That would be way too OP.
Yeah, but that's not super great because it means that she's out of the fight once she's used them.
Yeah. I think it's a cool end move play, but I don't think, even though it is every single weapon that we've just said is sexy, except for Bonk, I don't think that we can class this as sexy. I think it's a great idea, but it's just like the shadows of all of the weapons.
It doesn't have the, like...
Physical...
I don't know.
I don't know what it is about it, but it feels like it's like the shell of the weapons rather than the actual feel of the weapons.
Yeah, it doesn't...
The emotion of the weapons,
it doesn't
if you will.
have the true heart of the weapon. What are we saying? But it's not less sexy than Bonk.
It's not less sexy than Bonk. Don't get me wrong. But I think it's probably... I would put it the same as Ren.
What did we say was red?
3.
3? I think that is going to be the spiciest take.
Really?
Yeah.
That's the spiciest take.
Yeah, we're like...
I think it's a really cool, very not practical per se. Well, I mean, it's good for, like, if you are going to be the one ending the fight. And if... Like, she obviously loves looking at everyone else's weapons, and you can tell she appreciates them.
Yeah, and the scene when she does use it, because it's got I May Fall, soundtrack in it, and she just keeps pulling them out. But also, because I've seen people, and they've been very upset that Weiss figures out how to use her summoning glyphs during that fight to save Velvet at the end of it, because they're like, it takes away from Velvet's moment. Whereas I don't feel like I know Velvet well enough for her to get that big of a moment.
Yeah.
You know, like, I know Weiss. We've hung out with her for 3 seasons, so I'm happy that they get to, like, she gets a cool moment with a cool thing as a payoff for, like, hinting at it, but I don't agree that it needed to solely be her moment of cool.
Yeah.
Because I don't know her last name.
Yeah, I kind of forget half the
Yeah.
time that she's called Velvet until you remind me.
Yeah, you know, and like she has been in it a long time, but she's not Jean and Pyrrha.
Yeah.
She's like
There were more memorable characters.
she's like she's a Nora level side character. You think she's great?
Nora's so good.
Not Nora. I don't mean Nora. I mean Neo.
Neo level, yeah.
Like, but I mean, she's like, you're like, this is pretty sick, but she's not my gang.
Yeah, we haven't had enough interactions with her. Like, don't get me wrong, she's adorable every time you do see her. But at the minute, adorable is all she is.
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna put her as 3, you're right. This is spicy, but you know.
So at the end of all of this, we do have that Crescent Rose is still the top.
Okay, should we go in order of hotness?
Okay.
So the lowest level of hotness is Oz's Kane, which is a 1 out of 10 with bonk. Then it would have been Jean's Sword and Shield, which had the original score of 2 out of 10.
Yes.
But then it comes in with a tie between Ren and Nora's, which is...
Not Nora's. Velvet.
Velvet's.
Stop trying to put Nora down to 3!
Looked at 15 weapons and have been doing this for over an hour.
You have been trying to put Nora's down, and it deserves the highest marks.
Okay, so Ren and Velvet's weapons, which are 3. Velvet's note is it lacks heart. Ren's is it's green. Okay, coming in at 4th, and I feel bad actually. I feel like this should be higher.
I feel like it should be, but it's just not sexy.
I disagree, but you are queen of this segment.
Do you want to put it at 5? We can put it at a 5.
No, but...
Because you know that Jean's is sexier.
No, I think they're the same level.
Alright, fine, we'll put it as a 5. They can be judged.
Okay, the
4 doesn't exist in
4
this realm.
no longer exists in this realm. Coming in at a tie for 5, we have Blake's weapon, which is suits her but bland. We also have Jean's weapon, which leveled up from a 2 to a 5 with a great improvement, A++++. Improvement, great improvement, A++. And also Winter Schnee's sword. See, because I think Winter's would be a 4.
Really?
Yeah.
But it's pretty. I like swords.
Yeah, but it is just a sword.
How can you say it's just a sword and then also have the
Yeah, okay, it's 5.
It's a 5.
fine. Okay, it's
It splits. It does like Zuko's ones, you know?
No, I don't remember Zuko's sword.
Season 2.
We never watched season 2. We just skipped.
Did I make you only watch season 1
Yeah,
and
you
3?
said season 3 is the good bit.
But season 2 is the bit where they're in the...
I don't know why. You're the one who told me to skip. I watched it with you, and you said skip season 2.
I was an idiot. Holly, we need to watch season 2.
Oh my God. We've got to rewatch all of Higurashi.
That's your fault.
Okay, coming in at the 6-pointer is Blake's sword.
No, Weiss's sword.
I'm so my brain is gone.
You need more tea.
I need more tea. The Mintinator.
I really don't think that's how that's said.
The Merster.
Merstanaster. No, Mertinaster.
Mertinaster.
I
The
think it's
rapier.
Nasta.
The sword.
Mertinaster.
The Mertinaster sword, which is elegant, but we agreed it wasn't necessarily sexy. Okay, 7. Penny. With how many swords is too sexy? Or no, wait, no. How many swords is too many swords? I've said sexy so many times today. Okay. Right, now we have a bunch of 8s. These are the top tier. Okay, we have Yang.
Not prosthetic.
Yang's just her gauntlet, which is Nerf gun but sexy.
Yep.
And we also have Pyrrha's.
Gone too soon.
Gone too soon. And Crow. Too thick with 2 C's. And then we have runners-up. Well, not runners-up, but second place is a joint of Yang with her gauntlet and robot arm.
Mm-hmm.
Arm is sexy.
Arm is sexy.
We have Nora, where pink heart grenade is good.
Mm-hmm.
Which is
God, I love
it's
Nora.
the truth. And Maria Calavera's. It's a scythe and it dual wields
And skulls.
It's skulls. And then in first place it began. It's Crescent Rose, Ruby Rose's weapon.
It's just the best.
It's best in class.
It's best in class, and it's just so sexy. That I just remember the first time I watched the episode where she fights, and I was like flushing.
You can watch the first Red trailer for RWBY.
Yeah.
The first trailer, and she fights all those Grims, and they haven't even got the right Grim model yet, and you're like, damn, that's a good.
That weapon be fine.
That's a good sniper rifle scythe. Oh. It's so good. I want to watch it now.
I do actually. No, the whole thing is this whole thing. I just want to binge watch every season again. And the worst thing is, I know that we will do that.
No, but
the next episode comes out on
the 6th of February.
I can't wait that long. I need it in my life. I need to see Ironwood being the beautiful man that he is.
Okay, well now this is going to be a 2.5 hour long podcast episode. You're welcome, everyone.
You're welcome. We'll probably do this again, but on some other topic of discussion, which one day will be villain sexiness levels.
Yeah. Thank you for listening to this first episode of Another Podcast. I've been Holly, the
and I've been Amy, the
We never explained that it was the Amy and Holly podcast, did we?
I'm sure we did.
No, we just introduced it as Another Podcast and never explained why it was
I would like it to be known that I came up with this name at about 1 o'clock in the morning. So
because it's perfect. It's Another Podcast. Amy and Holland. Amy and Holland. Another podcast.
Me and the entirety of Holland.
Yeah, next time we'll probably be talking about a different thing. Unless RWBY comes out and is more spicy.
Yeah.
We'll probably come back to RWBY. There's a lot of serious topics that need to be discussed in this show.
And also a lot of really dumb topics, like stupidest weapon, Clover.
So dumb.
But anyway, that's the end from us.
Yeah, thank you so much for listening. If you have any suggestions for topics, you can please,
send it to us
on Twitter. I'm Hats and Cola Cats. Your
dire situation.
Is it that or one dire situation?
It is a one dire situation, I think, yeah.
One dire situation.
Go on to Hats and Cola Cats and then you'll find me lurking.
If not, I'll have made a Twitter account for this podcast.
Boom.
Nice!
So
peace! Bye!